time.
He appreciates that as much as he should.
He don't.
Do you appreciate what Tyrese did for you back then?
Of course.
No.
Okay, just making sure.
I don't feel like you do.
Why don't
Jeff
you feel
don't
that way?
know.
Nah, I'm
right.
new to Breakfast Club. I don't know what's going on. What
It's all
happened?
right.
I'll explain it.
Yeah.
All right.
Was going through a hard time. Cheated on my wife. My wife wanted to get a divorce.
Oh.
Charlamagne talked me into apologizing on the radio and calling her live.
That
Okay,
was not
Martin
Charlamagne.
Lawrence, what the hell? Why would you ever?
That didn't happen. Jeff.
Bad idea.
What?
But it was a good idea. I'm going to tell you why. Bad idea because I put my business on the radio.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right? Tyrese happened to be in town and heard some of the things that were going on. So Tyrese called to check on me and see what was going on. I was going through it.
Wow.
And instead of just checking and keeping it moving, he stayed on top of it. To the point where he
Right.
became the therapist,
Yeah.
the mediator,
Right.
the person in between.
Right. The reason that you are with your wife today,
Right.
still.
Part of that reason, correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So he was in there being that person in the middle of it. So he was the one where he was explaining and talking, because sometimes during those type of situations, the wife didn't want to hear from me. My wife didn't want to hear
Absolutely
from me.
not.
But, you know, she was hearing from Tyrese from a different side.
And he's saying,
Can I finish my story?
oh,
Jeez.
So anyway, Tyrese called and said, "Hey, this is what I want you to do: get a dinner, book a private room at your house. I'm going to be there. You and your wife have a dinner, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to sing, Stay, which is my favorite Tyrese song.
classic
oh
record.
my God.
Classic record.
Right? And he had a violinist, and he came and they sang Stay, and you know he sat down there with us for dinner and spoke to us and guided us through as far as he could our relationship, and you know, we had to go through other steps.
I said, hey, man, make arrangements to get the whole house clean, the housekeeper. And then I said, I'm going to set up the room, come meet me here. And we organized all of that. I text you, and I was like, yo, man, I'm on my way to New York. I got a bunch of interviews and meetings and label. I got to go run in the label, go this and that. That was all a lie. I flew in town just for you and your wife.
Oh, wow.
But this is the part that I don't appreciate about Envy, is when Tyrese divorce comes across your headline, when the captions associated to the things that come across your desk, where's that same heart and love that I extended to you that you could extend to me, instead of it just being...
But you know what I've been through, and you know how I changed as a man and as a person. And you were there for it. You was a brother for it. But then when I look at my brother and saying what he's telling me to do and how he's telling me to live, he's not living that way, I don't respect it.
How do we know that, though?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because and these are the things that we've seen, and not only in private, because things that we know in private, but it's also things that I see in public.
Okay.
Me and my wife are good, right?
Hold on, I got to respond to that.
Let me give examples first so you understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't know where I'm coming from, you're just going to pull things out of the blue.
I'm not going to pull anything out the blue. I'm going to respond to what you just said. First of all, to arrive at an...
But you know what I've been through, and you know how I changed as a man and as a person. And you were there for it. You was a brother for it. But then when I look at my brother and saying what he's telling me to do and how he's telling me to live, he's not living that way. I don't respect it.
How do we know that, though?
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because and these are the things that we've seen, and not only in private, because things that we know in private, but it's also things that I see in public.
Okay.
Me and my wife are good, right?
Hold on, I got to respond to that.
Let me give examples first so you understand where I'm coming from. Because if you don't know where I'm coming from, you're just going to pull things out of the blue.
I'm not going to pull anything out the blue. I
never told nobody that. Even when you were on, and you could say you were on those psych meds, and you could say that you weren't.
What you mean?
But as a man, some of the things that you said, Tyrese, deserved me to box your mouth.
No.
We were talking because this is something that I never wanted to say. And since he wants to be, well, why Envy? I'm telling him why. You said disrespectful shit to my wife.
What do you say?
It's neither here nor there. To the point where, why my wife doesn't call you back anymore. And to the point, when you started talking to psych meds, me and my wife had a conversation and said, well, maybe Tyrese was on those medicines when he said. But if you ever text me and my wife, you can't text me because I just unblocked you probably about a month ago when me and Charlamagne was talking, and he told me that you were on the psych meds, and this is what it was. That's what made me unblock you. So that was the reason why I stopped talking to you and will not reach out to you anymore, because I'm like, I don't want to remember my brother as that. And maybe you were going through problems. So if somebody if I talk to your wife, disrespectful, I don't expect for you to come check on me. Okay. And that's how I felt at that time.
Okay. You did that to a lot of people, though, Ty.
But maybe y'all should have had this conversation.
No, listen.
This is great. We have it when God wants us to have it.
That's it. And I'm going to say this, because this is not the first time I've said this. The things that I said and did, the people that I rubbed the wrong way, the things that I posted, my conduct overall that was literally out of my control. I've literally prayed that people can find it in their heart to not hold me to something that I said and did while I was literally out of my mind. And if we could expect God to give us grace, we should always extend that same grace. So what I'm saying to you is, everybody clearly could see that something was going on. This is not, something's happening. Crying video, what more do you want from me?
Congratulations.
Something is happening. And so now, when you're out of your mind, you don't go on Instagram and say, I just got off the phone with Will Smith and say, me as a man. That was the most hurtful thing ever. Charlamagne said, well, what did he say? I want to box you in the mouth. Hee hee ha ha. So, listen, I'm not going to show y'all what we were texting about. I just want to show you the depth. That says DJ Envy wife, DJ Envy, mission. Right? That's when I was on a mission to help in any way I could to step in and help his marriage. If you look here, that says August 23rd, 2022. This is a text chain with me, Envy, and his wife. Not 2017, 2018, where I supposedly disrespected his wife and I was blocked. I got receipts. If your wife blocked me, if you blocked me, how are we communicating about anything August 23rd, 2022? Now, let's go a little further. Here is some communication directly with your first lady. Okay? The last thing we were texting about was we were actually trying to figure out, because I told y'all I've been very uncomfortable about talking about what God used me to do and blah, blah, blah. Like, I did it as from my heart. I didn't know him. I don't have a history. He ain't my brother. We ain't family. We ain't childhood homies. So it was such a random assignment, and I ended up doing it. But for him to go on the airwaves and say, I wanted to box you in the mouth because you disrespected my wife blocked you, I blocked you, and I just unblocked you a month ago, that's a fucking lie, bro. That is a lie. Look at this, man. Me and your wife were communicating August 11th, 2022. August 11th, 2012. Look, I said something that was 7 hours and 3 she said without fail. Like, I got receipts. I'm sending images of my new Rolls Royce to your wife. Like, I know y'all always got nice cars and this and that. Like, if she blocked me, if I actually disrespected her, as you allege, and you felt the way, how are we communicating August 22nd, 2023? It's bullshit, bro. Like, that's like, look what your wife just texted back and said. Absolutely beautiful. Talking about me purchasing an island in Turks and Caicos. That was August 23rd, 2023. Come on, man. And the last time that all three of us was on the text chain,
So Tyrese was on the Breakfast Club last week, and he was talking about some of the things that he didn't like about the Breakfast Club, and he said that he was upset that we didn't check on him when he was going through his problems, because when I was going through my problems with my wife, when we were at our lowest, he was there to help. And I told him, during that conversation, I didn't because you said some things to my wife and myself that I thought was disrespectful. He said we didn't check up on him. We checked up on him numerous times. I guess after the interview, everything was good. He apologized. We left on a positive note. But I guess when he got back home, maybe he read the comments, maybe social media, whatever it was, he got into a fit. And one post, he started crying and said, we don't respect his mental. And then yesterday, he did a whole long video and he called me a liar.
But for him to go on the airwaves...
Right.
I want to box your mouth.
So to answer Tyrese, yes, he was blocked. And the reason I know he was blocked is because he had Charlamagne and myself on a group text, and I never replied because I didn't see it. He did speak to my wife, and he wanted me and my wife to go on live, and he wanted to ish on his ex, Samantha. He wanted to ish on his wife. And I actually texted him, and I said, good morning. No, I'm passing on this. I prayed on it, wasn't in the cards. Stay blessed, have an amazing day. Right? Because I didn't want to be a part of him ishing on his wife, right? He said I was lying and he never said anything disrespectful to my wife. Well, what he actually did was, when they were talking, he was one of those dudes, and we all know that guy that tries to plant those seeds. If you had a man like me, it wouldn't have went down like that. I would have never. And I never said anything, and I'm going to tell you why I never said anything. I never said anything because, yes, Tyrese was there, and he did help save my marriage. And I was like, I just don't want to ish on that. So I just kept it quiet and I just stepped away from him because it's difficult because you have somebody that helped, but then you also have somebody that's trying to hurt. But me and my wife accepted the help side, and he opened us up to a place where, we were able to fix our relationship and fix our marriage, and our marriage is even stronger. Fix our marriage, and our marriage is even stronger now. Then I got a text, July 8th, 2022. You got the text? I just sent you the text, right? That's somebody that works for Tyrese. You see that text?
I'm looking at the text.
Now, I never mentioned anything to anybody that he flirted with my wife. What does that text say?
I'm not reading this.
It says, yo, DJ Envy blessings. Stay away from Tyrese, bro. He tried to destroy my marriage and career. He will do the same to y'all. Please, I'm open to talk to you. I'm not trying to gain anything from this. I'm just sick of the devil, and I refuse to know what I know and not tell good people what's up with that cat. Please stay away. He will try and get your wife. What's the date of that?
July 8th, 2022.
July 8th, 2022. So
it actually says, please stay away. He would try to get you and your wife.
Right. Shut up. But that just shows that's him as a person. Then the guy, he posts his picture and tells you his name, tells you who his wife is, tells you the people he knows. He says, I want you to be real because that's what Tyrese did. He did it to me, flirted with my wife, and he's doing it with you. He had no idea because I don't even know this gentleman.
In fact, Tyrese saying all of this stuff after the fact.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's call my wife, please.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ.
Am I?
Perform. This is good morning, Gia, by the way. Okay?
Good morning.
This is a conversation between a husband and a wife, and why the husband stopped talking to somebody and why the wife stopped talking to somebody. So the husband and wife should have a conversation. I'm sitting back watching the Casey crew live. Go.
Good question. So, babe, just for people that don't know, Tyrese helped save our relationship. When we were going through probably our lowest point and I cheated, Tyrese came in and really helped us and guided us through our relationship, correct?
Yes, he did. Absolutely.
And then we got to a point where we stopped talking to Tyrese. I even blocked Tyrese, and I wanted to box his mouth, as I said the other day. And can you explain to the people why we stopped talking to Tyrese?
Well, we stopped talking to Tyrese on two different occasions. Once, many, many years ago, when he did do that amazing thing for us. He and I became friends, and we were very, very cool, and we spoke often. And a lot of times you'd be laying in the bed next to me while I was talking to him. And at first everything was cool, but for me, it got to a point where it became inappropriate and uncomfortable, where I felt as though lines were being crossed. And you felt as though lines were being crossed, and we both decided that we were going to take a step back. And, there was times where I felt like he was extremely demanding of my time and of my attention, where if I didn't give him my time and my attention, he would get very angry, get very upset, and let me know what his expectations were of me. And, you know, at that time, I didn't feel as though he was going through any mental issues. I didn't feel as though